Greetings, I am Dr. G. Sankara, Professor RR Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. In this session, we will discuss the various costs involved in possessing and operating and maintaining the major construction machinery or equipment. This notes is taken from NPTEL. So any major construction equipment involves a lot of ownership cost, maintenance cost, fuel cost, taxes, all those things. And all the major projects, civil engineering projects, use a lot of heavy machinery. In this lecture, we will see how the various costs related to the major equipment influence the project cost. Okay, for construction firms, it is important to accurately estimate the equipment cost as part of the total cost of the construction project. So we should able to reasonably and accurately estimate the cost of the machinery and equipment in the estimation of the cost of the construction project. Any error or inaccurate estimation can adversely affect the profit margin of the firms. The total cost of a piece of construction equipment consists of two components, namely ownership cost and operating cost. This is also referred as O&O cost of the construction equipment. So the cost of the equipment is divided majorly into two components. One is ownership cost, other one is operating cost. The selection of the piece of the equipment in a construction project depends on the total cost associated with that equipment. Means it is a addition or sum of the operation cost and ownership cost both together forms the total cost. So one should able to accurately estimate these two costs together. Now let us see the details about the equipment ownership cost. What is ownership cost? Ownership cost is the total cost associated with the construction equipment for owning it, irrespective of the equipment is employed or not in the project. So if any company is possessing or having in its ownership any major equipment, whether it is used or unused, any equipment may not be used throughout the year 365 days 24/7. So whether it is employed or used in the project or not, this ownership cost will be incurred by the company. So what are the ownership costs components? The ownership cost consists of the following: initial cost, salvage value, interest cost or cost of capital investment, taxes, insurance cost, storage cost. So these are all the various components of the ownership cost. Now we will see in detail what these costs are. Initial cost. Initial cost is the capital investment required to own the equipment. It includes purchase cost, sales tax, transportation cost or freight charges to bring the equipment to the company's storage yard or construction site, and cost of assembly, installation of the equipment. So it involves the purchase cost, you have to pay whatever you are paying. Then taxes you will incur, sales tax, insurance, road tax, whatever may be the taxes involved, you have to pay. Then transportation cost, the cost involved from bringing the factory or manufacturing site to the company site or construction site. And If it is brought in parts, then cost of assembly and installation of the equipment. All these costs comes under initial cost. If the equipment is mounted on rubber tires, pneumatic tires, then the tire cost is deducted from the initial cost for calculating ownership cost. So tires cost is not included in the initial cost. Why? This is because the expected service life of the pneumatic tires is less than that of the remaining life of the equipment. So whereas the other components have a longer life, the tires have a shorter life. So it is not considered in the ownership cost, it is considered in the operating cost. Accordingly, rate of depreciation of tires is different from that of the equipment. Cost of tires is considered as part of the operating cost of the equipment. As the equipment is used in the project, there is a depreciation in the value of the equipment with time due to wear and tear and obsolescence. So when keep on using the equipment, some parts will undergo wear and tear and some part becomes obsolete, means dysfunctional because of the other reasons, climatic reasons, rusting and all those things. So that is considered as a depreciation cost. The total amount of depreciation for the construction equipment over the useful life of the is equal to the initial cost less estimated salvage value. So how you consider this depreciation cost, how you factor into this, so now you arrive at the depreciation value. So depreciation value is the cost of the initial cost of the construction equipment minus the salvage value, means what? Resale value. Whatever you get resale value, you deduct from the initial cost, that is considered as the depreciation over entire life period of the equipment. Salvage value. Salvage value is represents the expected cash inflow that will be received by the disposing of the equipment at the end of its useful life. So if you are going to dispose it, in between, if you are using as a second, once you, for example, if you no more going to use that equipment, you can use it in the secondary market, or if you are using and it becomes completely dysfunctional, you can sell it for a scrap value. So all this considered, whatever money you are going to get by disposing of that equipment is considered as salvage value. The estimation of expected salvage value of the equipment can be carried out by referring to the data obtained from the past projects wherein same equipment was used, or information obtained from the other relevant sources. But we don't know in the beginning itself how much salvage value we'll get when we dispose of. So initially we will make a rough estimate by considering if you have already used such equipments earlier in our project, we can get the data from that equipment, or from other sources who have used such equipment, who has disposed such equipment, what price they got, that you can inquire, or from the factory manufacturer source, like that from different sources you can get the salvage value. Then other cost is interest cost or cost of capital investment, means you have invested the capital and whatever is interest incurred is the interest cost. Let us see what is it. It is the annual cost of interest charged on borrowed money or that of capital investment to acquire the ownership of the equipment. If the equipment is purchased by borrowing money from a lender, then interest cost is the interest charged at interest rate charged by the lender. So if you have taken borrowed money from any bank or any financier or any friend or somebody from other company to buy the equipment, so you have to pay the interest cost. Interest cost is the time value of money. So the interest cost you are paying to interest charged is the interest cost. On the other hand, if the equipment is purchased using construction firm's own funds, if it is purchased from the company's own funds, then the cost of capital investment is what is then in that case the cost of capital investment, it is the interest charged on capital investment at interest rate equal to construction firm's rate of return. That means instead of buying this equipment, if you have put that money in a bank, or if you are given, you have lent the money to somebody, what interest you could have got, that is the cost of capital investment which you are losing now. You are not getting that money, that interest you are not getting. So that is considered as the cost of capital. Even though the construction firm uses its own funds to purchase the equipment, cost of capital investment is charged as part of the ownership cost because the construction firm could have invested the funds elsewhere to earn the return instead of purchasing the equipment. Instead of purchasing this equipment, you could have used those funds in any other usage of the company. What returns you could have got, that is considered as the interest cost or cost of capital investment. Now to calculate these things, there are some formulas are there. So annual calculation, all these cost actually cost of capital, salvage value, everything is converted into a annual cost over the life period. What is the cost? It is divided into, even though life cycle is let us say 10 years, the entire cost is divided into a per annum how much it could have been cost. So it is divided into a annual cost. There are some formulas to calculate all these things. Then taxes. Taxes represent the property taxes to be paid to the state or central government. It depends on the value of the equipment owned and applicable tax rate for a given location. As you know, if you buy any car, any two-wheeler, etc., you pay so many sales tax, road tax, and all those things to the central government, to the state government, to the local governments, etc. So similarly, in case of construction equipment also, you have to pay the taxes, so that you should consider in the ownership cost. Generally, it ranges from 2 to 5% of the average annual investment or book value of the equipment. Average annual investment is calculated from the total cost, then this will be, it depends upon state to state, it may be around 2 to 5% of the annual cost. Similarly, you have to pay the insurance cost. It represents the annual premium to be paid to insurance companies to cover the cost incurred due to accident, due to fire, theft, etc. So insurance, if your equipment involves any accident, what amount you have to pay for the third party, or the damage of your equipment, then any fire accident occurs, any theft of your equipment occurs. So to protect against these unknown losses, you have to insure the equipment. So the cost involved in such insurance is the insurance cost. In other words, it represents the cost that protects the owner of the equipment against these damages. Similar to taxes, the insurance cost can be calculated as a percentage of the average annual investment or the book value in a given year. It is generally about 1 to 3% of the average annual investment or book value of equipment. So this is also considered as a some percentage of the average annual cost. Then we have the storage cost. What is the storage cost? It is the cost of keeping the equipment in storage yards when it is not operating at the work site. So whenever it is not in operation or whenever it is not in use, you have to store it or protect it safely from the various climatic, environmental and other factors. So storage cost includes the rental and maintenance charges for storage yards. So if you are hiring, if you are own, you have to construct a garage or you have to hire a garage. All those things comes under this rental and maintenance charges of the storage. And also the wages of security guards, wages of workers employed for bringing in and out of the storage yard. So all this comes under storage cost. It is around 0.5 to 1% of the average annual investment. The annual storage cost can be calculated for the entire fleet of the equipment and is then prorated to individual equipment requiring the storage. You have a different type of equipment along with, you can have a excavator, you can have a dozer, you can have a compactor. All these things, if you are stored at the same place, so the total cost of storage is calculated and it is divided prorated to the each equipment. Similarly, storage cost, tax, insurance cost can be calculated for the equipment fleet and then prorated to individual equipment. Those taxes also, if you buy all those things at a time, then all together you can pay and divide it into the different individual equipment. It may be noted that the annual rates in percentage mentioned above for taxes, insurance, storage costs are typical values. However, the actual rates will vary depending on the type, size of the equipment, place of purchase, location of the project site, etc. Now, after calculating the different components, total annual ownership. Now we are calculating the everything in annual. Every year how much you have to incur. Total cost we will divide it into annual cost. So all these things annual cost will calculate above told all the cost, and we'll add those by summing of the depreciation cost, investment cost, tax, insurance and storage cost. Then from the annual cost you can calculate hourly cost of ownership can be calculated by dividing the annual cost by the number of operating hours the equipment will operate annually. So in a year, if you know how many hours you are going to use, it need not be daily, not by 365 into 24 into 7, not necessary. If you, for example, per month you may be operating only 50 hours, then per annum you may be operating 600 hours, 1000 hours, like that. So the total annual cost, by dividing the number of hours, you can calculate the hourly ownership cost. Okay, so this is about the ownership cost. Now let us see the operating cost. Operating cost is incurred only when the equipment is operated, when it is in use. The operating cost of the equipment is influenced by various parameters, namely number of operating hours, location of the job site, operating conditions, category of equipment, etc. So it depends upon the what type of job it is working, means how much quantity is it working on a lighter jobs or heavier jobs, what location it is working, is it accessible, inaccessible, hilly areas, forest areas, marshy areas, then category of equipment, and all these things affect the operating cost. So what are the various components of operating cost? Repair and maintenance cost, fuel cost, cost of lubricating oil, filter and grease, tire cost, equipment operator wages, cost of replacing high wear items, and cost of mobilization, demobilization and assembly. Now let us see one by one what are the various components of the operating cost. Repair and maintenance cost. Repair and maintenance cost is incurred as the construction equipment is subjected to wear and tear due to the operations it performs. So during the operation it undergoes wear and tear. When it is working on a job, because of the usage, various parts will undergo wear and tear, and sometimes some repairs will come, some maintenance charges you have to incur. So all this comes under repair and maintenance cost. They include cost of replacement parts, labor charges you have to pay for the mechanic and all those people, and the cost of setting up and operating facilities to carry out major repair and maintenance operations. Major repair and operations, you need some extra facilities to carry out. So what is the cost incurred in that also you have to consider. The repair and maintenance cost varies from 1 year to another over the service life of the equipment. So it depends upon the service life of the equipment. However, it increases with age of the equipment. As you go, if let us say the service period is 20 years, so compare to the first year, second year maintenance cost will be more. Comparing to second year, fifth year maintenance, that means as the age of the equipment increases, the maintenance cost increases. This cost contributes a substantial portion of the operating cost. The increase in service life and decrease in repair and maintenance cost of construction equipment can be achieved by carrying out timely recommended maintenance and repair operations. So whether it is undergone any repair or not, if you go for an annual maintenance or a 6 months maintenance, periodical maintenance, you can reduce this cost considerably, and also you can avoid sudden breakage of the or dysfunction of the equipment in the site, and if it happens, the work will stop and you will come across so many other problems. So a periodical maintenance is recommended always. The minor repairs can be carried out at the job site where the equipment is operating. However, major repairs can be carried out in the facilities set up by the equipment owner or in the workshop of the authorized dealers for the equipment. The annual repair and maintenance cost can be calculated as a percentage of the annual depreciation cost of the equipment. Past information available. So how you calculate this repair and maintenance cost in the beginning? So past information from company records or from other relevant sources of similar equipment under similar conditions can be used. If the data is not available, equipment manufacturers' guidelines can be used for calculating the cost. Then once you know the average annual cost of equipment maintenance and repair, that can be converted into hourly repair and maintenance cost by dividing the annual cost by the number of operating hours per year. Next is fuel cost. So to operate any equipment, you need fuel. So fuel power, the construction equipments are generally powered by internal combustion engines which use either gasoline, means petrol, or diesel as the fuel. The fuel consumption depends upon the rated flywheel horsepower, FWHP. It is calculated as FWHP of the engine and nature of working conditions. So your fuel usage depends upon its horsepower as well as the working conditions under which it is operating. So it represents the power available for operating a piece of equipment. A gasoline engine consumes about 0.06 gallons of fuel per flywheel horsepower hour, whereas a diesel engine consumes about 0.04 gallons of fuel per flywheel horsepower hour when operating under standard conditions. So the data can be, historical data can be used to estimate the hourly fuel consumption by the equipment. If these records are not available, same as you can use the equipment manufacturer's fuel consumption data. Similarly, hourly fuel cost can be calculated by multiplying the hourly fuel consumption by its unit price. So you will calculate how much gallons of fuel is required, then multiplying the cost of the fuel, you will get the total cost of the fuel. Then cost of lubricating oil, filter and grease. The quantity of lubricating oil, filter and grease required depends on operating hours. So these are all required to maintain the engine in proper conditions. Frequency, so it depends upon the operating hours, how much hours you are operating, frequency of changes, for how many hours you have to change all these lubricating oil, filter and grease, etc. Then engine characteristics and working conditions at the job site. The equipment manufacturer guidelines are past data from experience of similar equipment in similar working conditions can be used to estimate the time period between the changes. Then there is some formula is given to calculate out the cost of lubricating oil and filter and grease. Then per rated horsepower between the changes is, so generally it is required is 0.006 pounds and 7 pound per gallon is the conversion factor. Okay, so this is how you will calculate the cost of lubricating oil, filter and grease. Then coming to the tire cost. So we have seen in the ownership cost that as tires have a less life cycle, we have considered that under operating cost, not in the ownership cost. Cost of pneumatic tires is considered as a part of operating cost. The tire cost includes the tire repair and replacement charges. The service life of tires is generally shorter than that of the equipment, as the tires wear out at a faster rate than the other parts. The life of tires varies according to the extent of wear it is subjected to, which depends upon the job site conditions. So wear and tear depends upon the job site conditions. Tire repair charges can be calculated at a certain percentage of tire depreciation cost. So here also we use the past data or equipment manufacturer guidelines, etc. to calculate the expected life and cost involved in the tires. Then equipment operator wages. The operator cost includes the hourly wages and benefits paid by the company to the operators, means the, in our language, drivers who operate the equipment in the site is called the operator. So you have to pay him various wages and other benefits. So all these considered as operator charges. It includes normal wages, workman's compensation, insurance premium, fringe benefits, bonus, etc. So whatever charges you pay on the job, sometimes you have to pay the DA, then some medical allowances you have to pay, HR, all these things comes under operator wages, and it varies from project to project. So operator wages is also considered in the operating cost. Then cost of replacing high wear items. It represents the cost of the wears items, and these items have a shorter life as compared to the service life of the equipment. So in every equipment has certain crucial parts which are actually used more. So they undergo high wear, means very quickly they undergo the wear and tear. So you have to replace them regularly. The high wear items include blades, cutting edges, drill bits, bucket teeth, etc. These are all the major components for different type of earth moving or any other construction equipment. The expected life of these items can be estimated from past records or from manufacturing guidelines. Cost of mobilization, assembly and demobilization. The cost of mobilization, etc. includes transportation charges from one project to site to another, cost required for getting road permits, unloading charges, cost of assembly at the project site, etc. So if once the work is done, completed at a project site, the equipment need to be moved to another project site. It may not be adjacent or may not be in the vicinity. It may be in the far off places. So it involves some cost, like you have to get the road permits if it is going to the different state, all those things. Then unloading, loading charges, if you are taking some components separately, then after taking the site, you have to assemble them. So all these costs comes under mobilization, assembly and demobilization. So these also can be calculated hourly basis by dividing the total cost by the number of operating hours. So this addition of all these cost under operating cost will give you the total operating cost. Then total addition of the ownership cost and operating cost will give you the total cost of the equipment, which you should include in your estimation of the project budget. Now here some examples are given how to calculate this, which you can practice. Thank you.